Hello, everybody, and we got race number 14 at Michigan International Speedway. It's the Miller 400 miles at Michigan, and your pole winner is Bill Elliott. Sitting on the outside pole, Terry Labonte. Third's Jeffrey Bodine. Waltrip's fourth. Rudd fifth. Gant sixth. Allison in the Miller Highlight seventh. Neil Bonnet 8th, Kyle Petty ninth, Speed 10th, Richmond 11th, Hillen Jr. 12th, Wallace 13th, Schrader 15th. Oh, Petty, Kyle Petty 16th, Arrington 17th, Marcus 18th, Baker 19th, Dwyer 20th, Means 21st, Bouchard 22nd, Pond 23rd, Boys 24th, Burchell 25th, McDuffie 26th, Yarborough 27th, Benny Parsons 28th, Hall 29th, Randall 30th, Phil Parsons 31st, Pearson 32nd, Wowak 33rd, Ellis 34th, Cooper 35th, Kuzer 36th, and shotgunning last is Jimmy Sauter. And we got Bill Elliott here to lead us to the green flag for 40 laps. Let's get this race started, folks. 40 turns, rather. And we're going to start off with a smart in the middle group. Who's smart in the middle group? First up is Baker's got a chip, but he's not smart. Dave Marcus is smart. He's double smart. And a four's not going to get it done for David. He'll have another shot, though. And a six definitely ain't going to get it done. As a matter of fact, the six going to have a problem for David already. Let's see what kind of problem David's got. On 46, he hit the wall already. It'll take a 3 to keep him in this race. And he doesn't get it, so Dave Marcus is going to finish last. He's going to finish 37th in that 71 car. Poor Dave already out of the race after hitting the wall. Alrighty, who's next after Dave that's smart? And Buddy Arrington's smart in that Chrysler. And a 3-1's not going to get it done. How about Richard Petty, the king? Can he get out of this middle group with a 4? Nope. How about Kenny Schrader and that Junie Donlevy Red Baron? Not with a 6, he's not. Next up is Bobby Hillen Jr. and that Snickers number 8. And now 3-1's not getting it done. And that was the last smart driver. Now let's see who can move up here to the top group. And it's not going to be Dwyer. How about Jimmy Means? Nope. How about Ron? Nope. How about Boys? Nope. How about Eddie? Nope. How about JD? Nope. How about Yarborough? Yarborough will go from 26th up to 19th. And we only got 36 cars running after turn number 1. We've already lost 1 car. On to turn number 2 we go. And here we go. And we got a duel already, and that'll be the 4 car. And that'll be Ricky Rudd going after Terry Labonte. He gets the job done, puts Terry in a bad spot, but gets a chip. And Terry needs a 7, not the wreck. And he doesn't. So we go on to turn number 3. Billy Elliott's still leading this, and we got a top group of heat. Who's got the heat? And absolutely nobody in the top group's got heat. Turn number 4. Anyone in the top group that had heat was poor Bill. And we got a rare problem. Got a rare problem and a regular problem in the bottom group here. So let's see what the rare problem is. 22. That's going to be track conditions deteriorate. All drivers lose skill quality. So we'll mark that down. No skill. Remember that if that comes up, it won't be a turn. Now who's got the problem? Poor Tommy. He's going to finish 36th in that 85 car. So he's out of the race. Blows up. And we move on to turn number 5. And we got a top group. We got trouble in the top group. Here we go. No modifier. Takes a 9 for Bill not to wreck. And he's involved in the wreck. Here we go, folks. Bill's involved in the wreck. Ricky needs an 8 not to use his chip. He gets it. Jeff Bodine needs an 8 not to use his chip. Doesn't get it. He'll use his chip, though. Stay out of the wreck. DW needs an 8 not to wreck. And he's involved in the wreck. So both of the top points, number 1 and number 2 in points, are both involved in the wreck. Bonnie needs a 7. Doesn't get it. So we're going to the middle group. Another guy up there in the top. Harry Gant needs a 7. He gets it. And the Miller car, can he stay out of the wreck here in the Miller 400? And he needed a 6 and didn't get it. Bobby Allison's involved in the wreck. Neil Bonnet in that Budweiser car is next. He stays out of it. Cal Petty needs an 8. He gets it. Like Speed needs an 8. He barely gets it. Tim Richmond needs a 7. He gets it. Bobby Hillen needs an 8. He gets it. Rusty needs a 5. He doesn't get it. Rusty's involved in the wreck. Earnhardt needs a 6. He barely gets it. Schrader needs a 7. He doesn't get it. Schrader's involved in the wreck. And we won't be going to the bottom group because Baker's got a chip. The King needs a 5 not to be in it. Doesn't get it. The King's involved in the wreck. Arrington needs a 7. He doesn't get it. Buddy's involved. Baker needs a 5 not to use his chip. Doesn't need to use his chip. And last but not least is JD needs a 5. And he is involved in the wreck. And only 5 drivers. So, like I say, we won't be going to the bottom group. Everybody will just move up. And then we'll see who can get their car fixed. Get back out on this track as the yellow flag's out. Yellow flag's out. Only good part is still the beginning of the race. Hopefully they got time to get these cars fixed. First up is going to be JD, and he's going to need a, let's see here, JD's going to need a 7 to stay in this race. And he doesn't get it. JD is going to finish 35th in a 70 car. Next up is Buddy Arrington. He's going to need an 8. Doesn't get it. Arrington's involved in the wreck and can't get the car fixed. And I was talking about it's early and these guys might be able to get the cars fixed. So far, nobody has. Now it's up to the King. And the King gets back out there. And the King's going to need a 7 and barely gets it. And now you got Kenny Schrader. He needs a 7. He gets it. And Rusty's going to need a 7. Doesn't get it. The 2 car is going to finish 33rd. Bobby Allison, can they get that Miller High Life Buick back out there? needs a 7, doesn't get it. 22 cars out of the race. So Allison's going to finish 32nd. So no Miller car is going to win the Miller 400. Terry Labonte, he needs a 7. He gets it. DW needs an 8. Barely gets it. And Bill needs a 10. And doesn't get it. The second race in a row. Bill Elliott's involved in a wreck early in the race and is wrecked out. Elliott's going to drop like a rock here. Again, Bill is involved in a wreck. They can't get the car fixed. He's going to finish 31st. And we only got 30 cars still running in the race. That's going to take us past the first pit stop. So we'll have the pit stop on turn 38 with Ricky Rudd in the lead, Bodine second, Gant third, Bonnet fourth, Kyle Petty fifth, Speed sixth, Richmond seventh, Hillen Jr. eighth in the 8 car, Earnhardt ninth, and Buddy Baker rounding out the top 10. And here's the pit stop. We got a top group 2 and 6 switch. Move Buddy back up here because getting a chip. Alrighty, now let's see who's going to get some chips up front. Ricky Rudd needs a 6 to get a chip. Let's grab a few. He gets a chip. That's his second chip. Ricky Rudd's looking good in that Bud Moore car. Bodine needs a 6. He gets it. Richmond needs a 4. Doesn't get it. Neal needs a 5. Doesn't get it. Petty needs a 7. He'll get her done. Speed needs a 7. Doesn't get it. And last but not least, Gant needs a 6 and doesn't get it. Now let's see if anybody can beat Ricky out of the pits. And a 5-2 Speed will, but Ricky will use a chip to hold him off. We go to turn number 9 here at the Michigan International Speedway. We got a bottom group of Reflex in the bottom group. Richard trying to get out of the rear with the gear after being involved in that wreck. With a 4's not getting it done. And Ken Schrader's got Reflex. And a 5 not going to get her done. Terry Labonte's got 2 Reflexes. Could get back up to the top group. Not with a 6, but he's got another shot here. And a 1-6-5. And he'll go from 28th up to 19th. DW's got 2 chances. Could get back up in the top group. And a 4-1-6. And Buddy Baker's going to use his chip to hold him off. And now DW another shot here. 4-3-5. And he'll go from 27th up to 12th. He's trying to make hay with old Bill being out of this race again. Bill been wrecked twice, man. And now you got Tommy Ellis with 2 chances. And a 2-4-2. And Ron Bouchard's going to hold him off, but he's got another shot. And a 3-5-6. And he's going to get Eddie and go from 24th up to 17th. And whoa, whack. Old Bobby's got a shot to get out of 23rd. Not with a 4. And last but not least, Phil Parsons in the Skull Bandit. Can he get out of the rear with the gear? Nope, he's got a problem. And a 31. And that's going to be a hand-on problem. And let's see if he can get out a 3 to repair it. Nope. So poor Phil Parsons going to finish 30th. Only 29 cars still running. And we go to turn number 10, 100 miles down here. And we'll have a bottom group of star. Who's a star back here? Any stars? First on up is Dwyer. And a 3's not getting it done. Next up is Hall. Not with a 5. Jimmy Sauter. A 1, 4, 3. And he's going to get leg speed. Jimmy Sauter goes from 25th up to 15th. And Mr. Cooper, not with a 6, and he's going to have a problem. What kind of problems Cooper have? 14, he cuts the tire. So he'll just drop back to 29th here. Everybody will move up. And the next one up will be David. So everybody will just move up. And can David get out of the rear with the gear? And a 3, 6, 3. And yes, he can. Terry Labonte's going to drop back to 21st. David moves up 2 spots. And we go on to turn number 11, folks. And we got a top group of skill, but we're not using skill because the track has deteriorated. It might have caused Bill and them guys to wreck. We're in the turn number 12. And that'll be a heat in the middle group. Anybody got heat? First one up's Jimmy Sauter. Just got up here. Can he get to the top group? With a 3, he's not. And how about Jimmy Smut Means? Can he get to the top group? With a 6, he's got a problem. What kind of problems poor Jimmy Smut Means got? 65. He's got black smoke from under the hood. And he needs a 3 to stay in the race. Doesn't get it. Jimmy Means is going to finish 29th. In the 52 car. And anybody else got heat? Last one that has heat is Mr. Hillen Jr. Bobby get to the top group with a 2, 4, 4. And 1, 2. And Kyle Petty holds him off without using the chip. And that'll be it for turn number 12. We'll see who moves up here to the middle group. First up is Randall. Can he move up here to 19th? Yes, he can. Now we got 28 cars. Ricky Rudd, we forgot to move the yellow flag because we've been going green for a while now. And what turn was that? I did it again. I'd have been turn number 5. Ricky got the lead. Turn number 5, Rudd got the lead in the 15 car. Got Rudd in the lead. Jeffrey Bodine second. Tim Richmond third. Neil Bonnet fourth. Kyle Patty fifth. Speed 6. Gant 7th. Baker 8th. Hillen Jr. 9th. And Earnhardt rounding out the top 10. So we go to turn number 13. First third of the race is done. And we got a top group of reflex and a problem. First we'll do the reflex. Take a 5 or 6 to get Ricky. 2, 3, no. Lake Speed's got 2 chances at him. And a 1, 2, no. And a 4, 4. 1, 4, no. And Cal Petty's got 2 chances at him. Here's his first chance. And a 6, 5. He's going to burn a chip and make Rudd burn a chip. But he's got one more shot at him. And a 3, 3 is not getting it done. Neil Bonnet. Can he put the Budweiser car up front in this Miller race? And a 4-3, nope. And Tim Richmond's got 2 chances at him. Say it takes a 5 or a 6, a 4-2, nope. And a 2-6. Tim Richmond gets the lead here. Puts that old Milwaukee car up front in the Miller 400 on turn number 13. And now Jeffrey Bodine has a shot at him with a chip. And it'll take a 6 to get him without using his chip. And he'll have to use his chip. So Tim doesn't stay up there long. Jeffrey Bodine gets the lead. And that Levi Garrett car on turn 13. We're on to turn number 14 now. And we got a middle group of Reflex. Let's see who's got the Reflex back here in the middle group. First up is Ellis. Got 2 chances here. Could get the lead. On a 3-3-3, though, he has a problem. And he blows up. Poor Tommy. And that number 18 car, trying too much, blows up. Finishes 28th. So Ellis is out of the race. And let's see who else has got the old Reflex back here. Trevor Boyce has got Reflex. And a 4's not getting it done. And Ron and the 47's got Reflex, a 2-2-6. And he's going to get Ricky Rudd, who was just leading this race. He's going to go from 13th up to 3rd. Ricky's now out of the top 10. DW, 2 chances, could get the lead here. On a 1-2-5. And he gets 3rd away from Ron. He doesn't stay up there long. He moves up only 1 spot. And now DW's got a shot at the lead. I'll take a 5 or a 6 to get him. And a 1-5. DW gets involved in a wreck. Now he's in the lead. It goes from 12th up to the lead here on turn number 14. DW flying up through there, trying to really put some distance between himself and Bill in the championship. Earnhardt's got 2 chances here. And a 4-3-5. And he's going to get the other Budweiser Chevy and go from 4th up to 10th. And now he's got a shot at the lead here. Take a 6 to get DW. And a 4-4 he doesn't. And that's it. We got to see who's going to move up here. In the middle group, Terry Labonte with a shot to move up. I peed my car and he does. We got 27 cars in this race. You got that Budweiser Junior Johnson Chevy up front with DW. Tim Richmond in the old Milwaukee 2nd. Levi Garrett Bodine 3rd. GM Goodwrench 4th with Earnhardt. At 7-Eleven, Thunderbird of Cal Petty 5th. Nationwide with Speed 6th. Let's Go Bandit 7th with Harry Gant. Buddy Baker 8th. Hillen Jr. 9th. And rounding out the top 10 is Neil Bonnet. On to turn number 15. We got another top group. This is TV. And it'll take a 6 to beat DW. And a 3-2 nope. And only one more, and that's Jeffrey Bodine. And a 3-1, he holds them off. We go to turn number 16. And it's going to be heat. Anybody got heat up here? Cal Petty's got heat. And it'll take a 5 or a 6 to get him. And he's got 2 chances to put that Woods Brothers car out front. And he needed a 4. Got a 5-6, but he's got another shot. A 1-2, nope. And he's the only driver with heat. So we go to the pit stop here on turn number 27. Turn number 17, rather. We got the middle group. 5 and 2 is going to switch. Let's see who can get some chips here. So in the middle group, first one up is going to be Buddy Baker. He needs a 4. Doesn't get it. Hillen needs a 5. He doesn't get it. Yarborough needs a 5. He gets it. Nice job by that 28 Ford Hardy's team. And how about old Pearson? He needs a 5. And the Chattanooga Chew, they get her done in that 21 car. Ron needs a 4. And he gets it done. They're all coming through here, folks. And how about Ricky Rudd? He needs a 6. Doesn't get it. Sauter needs a Snake Eyes. Doesn't get it. Boys needs a 3. Doesn't get it. Bonnet needs a 5. Doesn't get it. Benny needs a 4. And he gets it. These guys are doing a nice job. And Randall needs Snake Eyes. And last but not least is Terry Labonte. Needs a 5. And doesn't get it. But a few of them did. Alrighty, now let's see if anybody can beat DW out of the pits. In a 3-3, and Earnhardt's going to get the lead here. And puts that GM Goodrich Chevy up front here on turn number 17. First time he's led the day. We go to turn number 18 with Earnhardt leading Richmond second. Speed third. Waltrip fourth. Petty fifth. Bodine sixth. Gant seventh. Yarborough eighth. Pearson ninth. Ron Bouchard runs out the top 10. And we need to get the right dice. It helps. And that's going to be a middle group. Trouble in the middle group. Here we go. Another wreck, folks. We got trouble. It rhymes with P. That stands for problems, too. So Yarborough needs a 5 not to use his chip. And he doesn't. So he'll have to use his chip. Next up is David Pearson. Needs a 5 not to use his chip. He'll have to burn his chip. Ron Bouchard needs a 5. He won't have to burn his chip. Benny needs a 5. He'll have to burn his chip. Buddy Baker needs a 5. Doesn't have to. And, oh, he doesn't have a chip, but he's fine. And Helen needs a 6. And he is the first car involved in the wreck. Ricky Rudd needs an 8. Makes it through. Sauter needs a 5. Doesn't make it through. He's involved in the wreck. Boys needs a 5. He doesn't make it. So now there's 3 cars involved. And Neil Bonnet needs a 5. He makes it through. And we're not going to the bottom group because no matter what happens here, it's only 5 cars. Randall needs a 5. He makes it through. And last but not least, Terry Labonte needs a 7. Not the wreck for the second time, and he makes it through. So everybody just moves up with the caution. Caution flags out. See if any of these guys can get back in the race. We're in the middle part of the race now, though. So it'll take a 5 for most of them. Boy needs a 5 to get the car fixed, and he doesn't. The 49 car finished 29th. Next up is Jimmy Sauter, needs a 5. and he gets it. How about that? Jimmy gets back in the race, and Bobby Hillin Jr. needs an 6, and he gets back in the race. So good job by the crews getting those 2 cars fixed. And we move on. We're halfway through the race while the caution was out. And we move on to turn number 21. 200 miles down here in the 400-mile race. Earnhardt will lead us back here to the green flag. Richmond second. Speed third. DW fourth. Kyle Petty fifth. Bodine sixth. Handsome Harry seventh. Yarborough eighth. Silver Fox ninth. And rounding out the top 10 is Ron Bouchard. And the green flag comes out on turn number 21. And we got a rare problem and a problem in the middle group. 56. A rare problem in the middle group. A black flag driver in the middle group. So now we got to find out what driver got black flagged. 46 is the 4 even. And Mr. Bonnet got black flags. Let's see what the black flag's for. He got black flag for going too fast down pit road. He'll be dropped back to 26th. And now the other problem, who has that? And that's poor Cooper blows up. So Cooper's going to drop out of the race. And he's going to finish 26th in the 80 car. Let's see who's going to move up here to the middle group. And Mr. Jim Hall needs a 2 to move up. And he gets it. Nice job by Jim. And we got 25 cars running. Earnhardt leading Richmond second. Speed third. Waltrip fourth. Petty fifth. Bodine sixth. Gant seventh. Yarborough eighth. Pearson ninth. And Burchard is rounding out the top 10. And we go to turn number 22. And it's going to be a top group of control. I think control for the first time today. And it'll take a 6 to get Earnhardt. First up is Harry Gant. Can he get him? And a 6-2 to wrong 6. And Jeffrey Bodine. And a 5-3. DW with a shot to get the lead back here. 4-3. And last but not least is Tim Richmond. And a 2-3. He holds them off. We go to turn number 23. And we got a duel. And that'll be the Gant going after Richmond. Not Grant after Richmond. Gant. Don't be thinking about the Civil War here. And Harry gets them. See if Tim can avoid wrecking here. And he does. So we go to turn number 24. And that'll be the middle group. Star in the middle group. And first up is Jim. Can he get out of this middle group? Not with a 6. And he's got a problem. What kind of problems for Jim have? He's got an engine blowing up. And the 23 car is going to finish 25th. With Hall. Trying to get to the top group. Just gave it too much. The engine couldn't handle it. Lenny Pond's got 2 chances. Could get the lead here, folks. And a 1-1-5. Handsome Harry's going to have to burn his chip to hold him off. Wait a second here. 1. Yep, he'll have to burn his chip. Another shot for him, though. And a 2-3-4. And DW holds him off. Man, poor Lenny Pond made some nice moves. Couldn't get the job done. How about Eddie in that 6 car? And a 2-4-4. And he's going to get Mr. Petty from 17th up to 5th. How about that for Eddie Bouchard? And who's up next. Texas Terry Labonte. Is he up next? No, he don't have the star. Ricky Rudd's got the star quality, though. But not with the 6. He's not going nowhere. And Buddy Baker's 2 chances here. Could get the lead. Get that 88 car up front. A 1-4-3. And he's going to get old Eddie and go from 12th up to 5th. And now he's got a shot at the lead here. Can he get the lead? Oh, not with 666s. Damn. Poor Buddy Baker's got a problem. 666 a 36. Vibration. He'll drop down to 25th. He'll stay in the race, though. Trying to get the lead, and something's coming apart on him. Next up is Benny Parsons. He's got the star quality. And a 4 is not getting it done. How about Ron Bouchard with the star quality and a chip? And a 5, he's going to have to use it, and he's going to get 7th away from Richmond. And let's see. And David Pearson's got the star quality. And a 3-3-2. And Lake Speed's going to hold him off. And Yarborough in that Hardee's Ford with a 1-5-5. He's going to get up to 6th. Actually 5th. Everybody's going to move up, see if Jeffrey Bodine can get back in this top group here. With a 3, he gets up there. I'll see the middle group. He's going to move up. Clark Dwyer is going to be the first one with the chance to move up. There'll be 2 cars. Yacht Hall drop out of the race, and Buddy Baker drop back. So Dwyer's first up. Can he get up there? Yes, he does. Next is Kenny Schrader in that Ford can't. How about the King? King can't. How about Bobby Hillen? Bobby Hillen gets up there. So now we got 24 cars running in the race. You got Earnhardt in the lead. You got Gant second. Speed third. Waltrip 4th. Yarborough 5th. Bouchard 6th. Bodine 7th. David Pearson 8th. Richmond 9th. And Benny Parson rounds out the top 10. And we're on the turn number 25. 250 miles in the books. And we got another duel. And it's going to be Jeffrey Bodine going after Harry Gant. They're switching here. See if Jeffrey gets it done. Puts Harry in a bad spot. Harry needs a 7, not the wreck. And he gets it done. We go on to turn number 26. And we got another duel. That'll be the 4 cars. That'll be Wowak. He's not going nowhere, but Texas Terry Labonte is. And he's going after poor David Pearson. And he gets the job done and puts David in a bad spot. See if David can hold on to it. David needs a 5, not to wreck. And he wrecks, and David ain't too happy with Texas Terry Labonte. That'll bring out a caution. Caution comes out. So that's going to take us past the pit stop. Earnhardt's even going to get a chip out of this deal. And now let's see, can David get back in this race? And it'll take we are now still in the middle part. It'll take a 5 for him to stay in the race. He does stay in the race. He's back to 24th. So he stays in the race. And now we're going to have a pit stop here. Earnhardt leading under the caution. Bodine second. Speed third. Waltrip 4th. Yarborough 5th. Ron 6th. Gant 7th. Texas Terry Labonte just got up there to 8th after almost knocking Pearson out the race. Richmond 9th and Benny Parsons 10th. Here we go with the pit stop here. It'll be a top group 6 and 5 switch. And we'll grab some chips back here. First up is Earnhardt. He's already got one chip. He'll need a 5 to get another one, and doesn't get it. Boudin needs a 6 to get a second chip. He gets it done. Jeffrey looking good back here. Speed needs a 7. Gets it done. DW needs a 6. Gets it done. They're all coming through, aren't they? Can Yarborough get one? He needs a 5. And he gets it done. Darn. Handsome Harry Gant needs a 6. Gets it done. Can Ron Bouchard get one? Needs a 4, and that would be everybody up here getting one. Nope. Except for Earnhardt. He already had one. So Ron doesn't get it. See if anybody can beat Mr. Earnhardt out the pits. And a 6-6. Ron can't get it done. So we go to turn number 19. And we got a middle group of Star. See what happens back here. It's going to be tough to get to that top group. All those chips up there. First up is Dwyer. See if he can get up here. A 1-4-6. And Yarborough's going to have to use his chip to hold him off. I told you it was going to be hard to get up here. Lenny Pond has 2 chances. And a 4 ain't getting it done. He'll get another shot, though. And another 4 ain't getting it done. And next up is Ricky Rudd. Can he get that car at Ford up there? No, he can't. Next up is Benny. Benny's got the star quality. And a 1-5-2. Handsome Harry Gant holds him off without burning his chip. And that's it. Nice job by those guys up there. We go on to turn 30. 300 miles, 100 miles left here in the Miller 400. And that's going to be a bottom group of Control and a Problem. First up is Control. Buddy Baker's got 2 chances to get out of here. And a 3 gets it. Yep, Buddy gets it with a 3. 1-6. And he's going to go from 23rd up to 9th. Richmond drops back to 23rd. And Buddy's got a shot at the top group, folks. And a 5 ain't going to get her done now. Who else has Control? Neil Bonnet and that Budweiser 12 does, but not with a 6. He can't get it done, and that's it. And now we got a problem. And poor David Pearson, he blows up after getting involved in that wreck. Probably had some overheating problems. Pearson's going to finish 24th. We go on to turn number 31. And that's going to be a top group, and we got trouble. We got trouble up here. Most of them's got chips, though. First up is Earnhardt. He's going to need a 6 not to wreck. Well, the caution's back out. I didn't move it. And he doesn't need to use it. And Jeffrey needs an 8 not to use either one of his chips. He'll use one of them. And we're not going to the middle. I can tell you that. There's only 2 drivers without chips. So Speed needs a 6, needs an 8 not to use his chip. He'll have to use his chip. And DW needs an 8 not to use his chip. And he barely gets it. And poor Yarborough needs a 5. And he gets it. Nice job. Gant needs a 7. And he'll use his chip. And Ron Bouchard needs a 5. And doesn't get it. So there's only 1 car involved in the wreck. Everybody will just move up. Let's see if he can stay in this race. A 1 car accident as he spins here in Michigan. Moves Richard up to the middle group. And let's see here. We are in the bottom third of the race now, aren't we? Yep. So it'll take a 3 for him to stay in the race. And he dismisses it. Poor Ron's going to finish 23rd. in that 47 car. And now we'll be going to turn number 33. And Earnhardt will be bringing us back to the green flag. And you got Earnhardt leading, Bodine second, Speed third, DW fourth, Yarborough fifth, Gant sixth, Labonte seventh, Baker eighth, Benny ninth, and Eddie rounds out the top 10. Turn number 33. Here we go. And that's going to be a problem. I hope that's going to be reflex in the bottom group. Richmond just got back here. Can he get out of here with a 2.53? And he's going to go from 22nd up to 16th. Not poor Kenny Schrader out of there. And what do we say? Reflex? Yeah, reflex. Neil Bunnett's got reflex in that Budweiser Chevy. And a 4.61. And Dwyer holds him off. We go to turn number 34, folks. And we got a top group of smart. Who's smart up here? Terry Labonte's double smart. It'll take a 5 or a 6 to get Earnhardt. And a 4.3, he'll use his chip. He's got another shot at him. He'll use his chip, make Earnhardt use his. And like I say, he's got another shot at him. And a 4.4 doesn't get it done. Who else is smart? Harry Gant's got 2 chances at him. Say it takes a 5 to get him, a 3.4 no, but he's got another shot at it. And a 6.6 doesn't get it done. And Mr. Waltrip's got 2 shots at him and a chip. A 4.1 doesn't get him. Let's see if he can get him on the second one here. 4.1, he'll use his chip, but he'll get the lead. The Budweiser Chevy is up front here on turn number 36. This Miller 400 has a Budweiser up front. And Jeffrey Bodine isn't smart, so DW is going to keep the lead. We go to turn number 35. Turn number 35 coming up. And we got a middle group of smart and a problem. First, the smart. And Richard Petty just got up here. He's smart. A 2.56. And he's going to get handsome Harry Gant. Go from 19th up to 6th. Nice job by that STP Pontiac. Who else is smart back here? Bobby Hillin Jr. smart. And a 2.21's not getting it done. How about Ricky Rudd? Can he get in the top group with a 3.55? Yep, and Richard doesn't stay up in the top 10 long. He's back to 11th. There's Ricky Rudd gets up there. Eddie, he's smart. And a 1.22. And Lake Speed will hold him off. And that's it for the smart. And now, who has the problem? That is the question. Who has the problem? Poor Dwyer has the problem. A 42. And that's going to be a brake problem, and he's going to be out of the race. The 64 car is going to finish 22nd. And let's see who's going to move up. Only 3 cars back here. First up is Jimmy Sauter, and he moves up. Only 21 cars in the race. We move on to turn number 36 with DW in the lead. Bodine second, Speed third. Earnhardt fourth, Yarborough fifth. Rudd 6th, Labonte 7th, Baker 8th, Benny 9th, and Eddie 10th. And here we go, turn 36. That'll be a bottom group of smart and a problem. And Kenny Smart, can he get out of this bottom group? And a 2.32. 2-3-2, and he does. He goes from 21st up to 12th. Randall drops back to the last car on the track. Nobody else is smart, and who's got the problem now? That is the question, and it's poor Bobby Wowak. Bobby's 32. What kind of problems poor Bobby have? He has a loose problem into the turn, almost wrecks, but he stays in the race. Bobby will. He'll drop back to 21st. See who moves up here. First up is Neil Bonnet, and he doesn't. And Randall does. Alrighty, we move on to the money stop. The final pit stop, turn 37, folks. Let's see what happens here. With DW in the lead, Bodine second, Speed third, Earnhardt fifth, fourth, Yarborough fifth, Rudd sixth, Labonte seventh, Baker eighth, Benny Parsons ninth, and Eddie rounds out the top 10. And it's going to be a top group, and 1 and 2 are going to switch here. 1 and 2 back here. And let's see, can anybody come up with some great pit stops here on the final pit stop of the race? Can Junior Johnson and that Budweiser Chevy crew come through for DW? They need a 6. Nope. Lake Speed needs a 7. They get the job done. Jeffrey Bodine's already got a chip. He needs a 6. Doesn't get it. Earnhardt needs a 5. And he gets it. Yarborough needs a 5. Doesn't get it. Rudd needs a 6. Doesn't get it. And last but not least is Labonte needs a 5. And he gets it. So 3 get it and 3 don't. Now let's see, can anybody beat DW out of the pits? And a 4-1. And Terry Labonte's going to get the lead. The Piedmont Chevy up front. Can he win 2 races in a row, folks? 38, turn 38. 30 miles to go. And we got a middle group of TV. We got a few TV drivers back here in this middle group. First up is Handsome Harry Gant. And a 4-5-5. And he's going to get Yarborough. He's going to go from 17th up to 6th. And Mr. Hillen Jr., he's a TV driver. And a 1-4-6. And he's going to get DW, knock DW back to 14th. And last but not least is Cal Petty. Nope, we got Buddy Baker out to Cal Petty. And a 4-5-4. And he holds him off. Nice job by Handsome Harry Gant. Well, now, last but not least, is Buddy Baker. And a 6 ain't going to get it done. And a matter of fact, poor Buddy's got a problem. 44 is probably an odd problem. Nope, it's an oil problem. And he'll be out of the race. So poor Buddy Baker, the 88 car, is going to finish 21st. See who moves up here. There'll be one car in the back, in the rear with the gear. Let's see if it's going to be Neil Bonnet or Bobby. And Neil's moving on up. And we got 2 turns left, folks. 2 turns left. See if anybody can get the lead away from Texas Terry Labonte. And I keep forgetting to mark the damn pit stops when they lose the lead here. That was turn 37. Alrighty, here we go. And we got a bottom group of trouble. This could end the race. Bobby Wowak's the only car back there. And this could end this race under caution, folks. Bobby needs a 5 and doesn't get it. So Bobby's going to bring out the caution. And it doesn't matter if they fix the car or not. That's your race, folks. This race ends under caution. Bobby Wowack Rex brings out the caution and is going to finish 20th in the 74 car. And that's not the way we wanted to see this race. But that's it. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Texas Terry Labonte wins his second race in a row, folks. Both of them with a lot of wrecks. Terry keeps the car up front. Terry Labonte in the 44 wins 2 races in a row. And finishing second in the number 75 car is Speed. He might get second in points now with Elliott having a terrible day. Jeffrey Bodine in the 5 car is going to finish third. Earnhardt, who dominated this race, disappointed fourth. Being in the top 5 can disappoint you. He led almost 20 turns. Almost 20 turns. Bobby Hillin Jr. finishes 5th. Handsome Harry Gant finishes 6th. Ricky Rudd finishes in the top 10 and 7th. How about Eddie finishing 8th in that 6 car? Nice job by Eddie. And the King, he finishes in the top 10. The 43 car finishes 9th. And Benny Parsons, he finishes in the top 10. How about old Benny? Nice job by Benny Parsons. And just outside the top 10, Kenny Schrader in that 90 car. And the King's Boy and the Wood Brothers 7 car finishes 12th. And DW, disappointing 13th, was up front after the wreck. Remember, he was involved in the wreck, but he got back up there. Finishes 13th. And again, here's another guy that's disappointed. Tim Richmond finishing 14th in the old Milwaukee car. Lenny Pond finishes in the top 20. And Carroll Yarborough stays in the race to finish 16th. He was up front. Got to be a little disappointing for that 28 car. And Jimmy Sauter, he finishes 17th. And finishing 19th is Randall. Nice job finishing in the top 10. Top 20, rather. And the last car on the track. Disappointing day for Neil Bonnet again. Finishes 19th. And that's your race, folks. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, folks, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything to do this stuff. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for reminders. And on the way out of Michigan, hit that like button. Helps the channel out. Till next time, y'all have a great day.